On this blessed edition of Lucia Review, Square Enix bestows upon us the chance to play as a god in Actraiser Renaissance, a 30th anniversary pixel remaster of a Super Nintendo classic. When you stomp your feet, the earth will tremble. When you huff and puff, the houses will blow down. You will be granted with tremendous power, godlike power, and as Stan Lee always used to say, with great power comes great responsibility. But you know what Stan Lee didn't tell you? You know what Stan Lee didn't say all these many years? Stan Lee didn't say that for every Thor, there's a Loki. For every Zeus, there's a Hera. And for every god, for every babyface, there is one pesky, devilish little heel looking to tempt you to do things that you know are only in your best interest. Because after all, who's looking out for you? Can I tempt you to take the hot tag? Can I tempt you to step into this fantasy world of might and magic? Tag thyself in, and let's take on the nerdy and dirty.
When I covered the Super NES last month, I made plans to revisit Actraiser for a future episode. Evidently, Square Enix was several steps ahead of me and surprised fans with a 30th anniversary remaster released last week. This pleasant surprise is called Actraiser Renaissance, and $30 is a small price to pay to upgrade one of my favorite Super NES games, so I made the purchase within 5 minutes of learning of its existence. For those who've never played it, Actraiser is 2 games in 1. Playing the role of a celestial being, you descend into fantasy realms to rid them of demons, and then guide humankind as civilization is rebuilt. All of that and more have been brought into Renaissance. You'll be welcomed back to the Forest of Fillmore, the Lake of Bloodpool, the Desert of Cassandora, the Mountain of Athos, the Island of Marana, the Tundra of North Wall, and in each realm, demon minions of the Dark Lord Tanzra will be waiting for you. While you're kicking them out of town, you'll be treated to beautiful reproductions of the original 16-bit soundtrack. But if you crave that classic Super NES sound, you have the option to switch between them. The side-scrolling hack-and-slash action is beautifully polished, with enhancements made to the Lord of Light, the backgrounds, and the demons patrolling them. Once the demons are gone, it's time to rebuild society, and this is where most of the game's changes were applied. For starters, the demons never give up. You'll see a few flying around just like in the original, but in Renaissance, armies of demons will invade and lay siege every once in a while. You'll have access to the realm's resources to build protective structures like gatehouses and towers for archers or mages to stop the enemy's advance. These walls and towers are not your only defense either. Also new for Renaissance is a hero within each realm, and as you progress, teams of these heroes can be assembled to crush the demon hordes. Making his return is your angel assistant, serving as ambassador to humankind, and through him, you'll administer protection and enhancement to each burgeoning civilization. The angel is a bit of a dick, as he likes to hear himself talk, and can't help himself from insulting the heroes who patrol your cities. And you get to be a bit of a dick too, because once again, you have an arsenal of miracles. Or, if we're going to be honest here, you once again have the power to command destructive forces of nature. None of these miracles include sending pornography to get these people in the mood to have sex, however. So, when Fillmore's population became stagnant, I was reminded by Lucha Review correspondent Juan S. that gods can be cruel, and in Actraiser Renaissance, they must. You see, these civilizations all learn to develop bigger homes for their families, but it'll be up to you to destroy the smaller homes first, and hundreds of your devout followers will perish in the process.
Oh hey, if you want to make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs.
Don't feel too bad, because these tragedies will somehow motivate the people to reproduce again, thus replacing the innocent children you've mercilessly killed. As the realm populates, the people will develop the courage to expose demon lairs, only now it's entirely up to you to clear them out. This new minigame allows the player more opportunity to kick some more ass as the Lord of Light, which definitely makes this remaster a little more exciting than the original. Once the realm is fully populated, your devout followers will once again be threatened by Tanzra's minions. Just as in the original, you'll embark on a spiraling descent into their lairs and cut them down with your might and magic. I have few complaints about this game. For starters, the story within a classic game like Actraiser is worthy of being told through beautiful art. You get a little of that with the presentation of the title screen, but the game itself contains simple animations of pixelated characters. Yes, I get it, that's the whole point behind a pixel remaster, but this looked and felt a little too much like Donkey Kong Country at times. I had enough fun to look past that, though. What I couldn't look past, however, is the seemingly endless dialogue, and by dialogue, I mean scene after scene of the angel throwing his weight around. The stop-and-go bullshit got real old real quick, because it seemed like he wanted to whip his dick out every 20 seconds, and it took the wind right out of my sails.
Perhaps the biggest problem that I had with this game is the controls, because they seemed unresponsive. The Lord of Light was not just standing there like a statue in the beginning of each level. There were several times in which I was just sitting there getting my ass kicked because the guy wouldn't jump, wouldn't swing his sword. This is a brand new controller. I just bought it a couple of weeks ago. This is the first game that I've used it on. Square Enix, what's your excuse?
Finally, the raids can be a pain in the ass. Yes, it's nice to have something to do between battles besides watching people build houses and farms, but the raids are just as lengthy as they are frequent, and they significantly slow down the game and its story. Actraiser Renaissance is main event at best. The art and music are enchanting, and it was fun to descend back into the realms to fight Tanzra's minions, but I can't help myself from thinking about how this game could have been so much more. But for $30, it's a damn good game, and I'd recommend it to any fan of the original. I'd also recommend subscribing to my channel. Otherwise, I might hurl bolts of lightning at your house. Thanks for tagging in, and I'll see you next week.